it is that time of the year. It is Chelsea versus Arsenal. So all these debates that has been happening, combined 11, Estevao, Saka, Palmer, Eze, Rice, Caicedo, has been the biggest one. And the big one of them, which one of these two midfielders you would build your team around? And I got plenty of videos here for you. A couple of them, of course, from Alex from Skysports, from Talk Sports, actually from CBS as well, talking about both players. But we got a lot of stats for you as well to actually compare both. And heat maps as well we'll talk about. I want to give you what I think at the end about which one is better than the other, and which one would you build your team around. Of course, if you're watching this video now, probably you're watching it before the Chelsea versus Arsenal game, which is, I think, is going to tell us a lot about both midfielders. Who's going to have more effect than the other in the game? It will answer a lot of questions, actually, about both players. Which player is more important to their team than the other? I'm going to actually first, before we actually go on and actually show you the first video from Sky Sports, I want you guys, we're going to show you actually, especially the Palmer versus Eze one was very, very important from Matisse and Alex on Sky Sports as well. But before we go on, this is Footy Judge Mo. Hit that like button, guys, if you guys are here. We are trying to get to 50,000 subscribers soon, before the end of the year. With your help, we can. Hit that like button underneath. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. One like for every view will be fantastic, because it will tell YouTube to push this video to new viewers. And also a comment goes a long way. So I want you just to comment. If you want to say what you think in the comment section, I try to respond to every comment. If you don't, just give me one name. Which player would you build your team around? Moises, Caicedo, or Declan Rice? I want to hear from all fans. I want to hear from everyone. And let's go and listen to the first video. And what do these people think?
Of the things.
Let me just fix this. And here we go. Here we go. Let's go.
It's just not
It's
true.
just, it's like tackles and interceptions, Caicedo beats Rice. But
so
if we're going,
that's data.
yeah. But then if you go chances created, shot quality, like
Chances
if you go
created
all
because of set pieces. It's not chances.
But there's still
open
chances
play.
created.
It's not open play. So that's where.
By the way, I'm gonna give you my comment again. Having a chance created from set pieces is a talent, and this is what I'm saying about people that actually think about football wrong. Being a player that is good in a free kick or a set piece or a corner is part of you being better than the other player. So in that aspect, Declan Rice excels, and he's arguably the best delivery on corners in the world right now. Every single corner is fantastic. You wish you have a Declan Rice at your team. For the defensive attributes, so we're going to watch the stats later. He is spot on, yes. Maybe the defensive attributes Caicedo is better. We're going to talk about what Caicedo is good at. But there is something that Caicedo is underrated in, and we're going to show you. I'm going to show you later. And I'm going to actually give you what I think about that absolute blindness in people who are watching Caicedo or Declan Rice.
Doesn't count. So goals and set pieces don't count.
They do, but that's where stats are kind of skewed. Like, you can actually look at it one way. Like, he is very good at creating chances from set pieces. But if I put Caicedo on set pieces, would that now mean, because he's on set pieces, you might not score, but you have an opportunity for a chance to be created? I can say there's certain areas of Declan Rice's game that he has over Caicedo marginally, but the same flip. Like, Caicedo has a few things over Declan Rice, but marginally. So the thing I just don't like is when you put Rice in like an extreme category when it's not extreme.
Caicedo can do everything, but Rice is just better at a lot of the things.
That's just not true.
He's like tackles and interceptions.
He is spot on about this, and then this is the end of that video. Of course, we're going to go to the next video. But both of them excel in a lot of things, and we're going to see. I'm going to show you the stats, and I'm going to show you what do I think about both. And Declan Rice himself said something very, very important about this, actually. He spoke about what he thinks. He spoke about the positioning that he plays, which is, I'm going to show you the stats as well. But I want to hear from them. Like, let's hear what Declan Rice himself said about this.
You're fantastic, but he's trying to put two.
And yeah, it's an exciting battle between them since his bright. I don't know. We'll see. first and foremost, I have a lot of respect for Moises. I've played against him since his Brighton days, since I was at West Ham. I voted him last year in my PFA Team of the Year. I thought he was outstanding last year, and he started this year incredibly well as well. And yeah, there's so much comparisons between us, but we are playing different positions. He's a full-blown 6, and I'm a more box-to-box 8. So that Sunday's going to be an interesting game. But I think the most important thing is that I have a lot of respect for him as a player, like Roy and Patrick did. And yeah, it's an exciting battle between us, and it's one that I'll be ready for sure.
So before, this is one of the things that I wanted to show you guys about this, is where they actually play. I want you guys, let's now analyze the stats before we show the next video, and Troy Deeney and Agbon Lahore and what they said, and Matisse as well, what they said about that battle between the two clubs. And I'm just going to be straightforward with you guys. This is the running stat. Declan Rice runs more on the pitch, which shows you that he's more of a box-to-box midfielder. The number of sprints he does is more than Caicedo. Being faster or not faster, but this is an indication that both are being tasked to do something completely different than the other. If you look at the defensive stats, you can tell that Caicedo excels in the defensive attributes. It's more tackles, more recoveries than Declan Rice. And the most important thing, this is per 90, is the interceptions per game. That is very, very important. By the way, the aerial duels, Declan Rice excels at that because he's just bigger. But one of the main things about the defensive actions is interceptions. And that is what Moises Caicedo excel at, reading the game. That's why I say that Moises Caicedo arguably reads the game better than Declan Rice. That's why he is intercepting the ball more. He is someone that waits for that, closes the angles of the passes of the opposition and prevent them from playing these line-breaking passing. And that's why he's a full-on 6. But we still haven't answered the question, which one would you build your team around? In possession stats is very, very important. The carry distance, Declan Rice is more of a ball carrier, 233 meters per game that he carries the ball. The take-on success, he dribbles more because he carries the ball more, of course, and the carries is way, way more than Declan Rice. So he is more. Again, it is proven that Declan Rice on the ball in terms of carries is better. He carries the ball more distance. However, this is one of the things that people underestimate about Moises Caicedo. Even though Moises Caicedo is very good in defense, look at the line-breaking passes per 90 minutes that he does. They are very close to Declan Rice. Declan Rice was 8.4, and Moises Caicedo was 7.2. Now, passes into the opposition box, it shows you, if you see in front of you, 8.7 versus 1, it shows you where both are on the pitch. How Declan Rice is way higher on the pitch, and he plays closer to the opposition. And also, you got to take in mind that these count the corners, because the corners are passes into the opposition box. This is why Declan Rice is way higher on the pitch. Set play chances created is 1. Of course, that is 1 together. The XG that is created from the corners, something like this, that is Declan Rice. Open play chances created is 0.8 versus 0.6. Very, very close for the two players, of course. And here you can see that difference in the heat map. You can see that Moises Caicedo is very central. And nobody, and if anyone tells you that, oh my God, look, they're very similar, they're not similar. Because Chelsea play on the front foot. That is why Moises Caicedo, you can see the heat map is high and is above the halfway line and below the halfway line. So if you want to be understanding the football, if you understand football, you know that Declan Rice is more of a left 8, a box-to-box, and Moises Caicedo moves all across the pitch, left and right, but also he's a defensive midfielder. He is the one that is in the heart and the center of that Chelsea midfield. They're completely different positions. Would you build around someone that is a number 6, that is very good, or would you build around a box-to-box midfielder that helps you in set pieces? I'm still here to answer the question. Before we go on to the TalkSport one, I wanted to guys to hear what Troy Deeney has said about this, and Geoff Shreves have said about the battle between the two teams. So let's hear what these people say.
For you, Jeff, what are you looking at coming into this big match?
The central midfield matchup. I can't wait to watch that, because you've got four of the best midfield players in Europe right now. Rice and Zubimendi for Arsenal, Enzo Fernandez and Caicedo for Chelsea. And where they actually come into contention, because Rice gets further forward and he's been pushed further forward as well. So it's who mops up, who knocks it round the other, and who can control that central ground. For me,
I want to, guys, ask you something. Would you take Moises Caicedo and Enzo Fernandez, or would you take Declan Rice and Zubimendi? We're going to go to the Palmer and Eze later, but I want to hear what you guys think about this as well.
that would be a big part of the game.
Yeah, I hear that point. I think it actually plays into Chelsea's favour, this, because Declan Rice runs on. This guy here is the best in world football at going and getting the ball back, at suffocating people. I think it's going to be a battle between Zubimendi will try and get on the ball, move it left to right, dictate the tempo. It's whether Fernandez can jump on top of him and then run off the back of him. We've seen earlier on in the season where Zubimendi was getting up to speed, the likes of Bruno Fernandes running off the back of him. And he seems to have fixed that up now, but it's whether Chelsea can get that happening.
Which midfield do you feel is more complete to you at this point in the season right now?
Honestly, this is going to be a little bit of a controversial take.
You're going Arsenal.
I don't think either of them are complete. I just think that guy, Declan Rice, and that guy, Caicedo, are so good that it covers up the weaknesses of the other guys.
Yeah. Absolutely spot on about this, which is one of the things that I wanted to mention before. One of the things that Moises Caicedo does very well is actually pass the ball. Moises Caicedo completes more than 90% of his passes. He gets on the ball more than 60 times a game. He completes about between 50 and 70 passes a game. He dictates where the ball is going to go every time. And by the way, this is something that a lot of people, because Moises Caicedo is very good defensively, they actually don't see the other part of his game. It is not Enzo Fernandez who dictates the game. Moises Caicedo at Chelsea is the one that dictates, is the ball going right this time or it's going left? Is the attack going to be quick or the attack going to be slow? He's the one who slows the ball down, and he's the one who makes it fast. Similar to what Zubimendi does for Arsenal lately, since Odegaard has not been there. Zubimendi does the same exact job for Arsenal as Moises Caicedo does for Chelsea. And Moises Caicedo is so underrated on the ball that people don't see what he does. They don't see that he starts the attack. They don't see that he doesn't only tackle. He dispossesses the opposition and start the attack to the other side. That is something that not a lot of people see. Not a lot of people see. We're going to watch this, Eze versus Esteval. But before we do this, I want you guys to hear, actually, this part from TalkSport about the midfield and also about the starting 11. It's a quick video. But if you're still here, guys, hit that like button, guys, if you guys are here. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. And I want to hear from you in the comment section about this.
The two teams. Gab, is there many Chelsea players in
Yes,
there?
There is. I've done it from who's.
I've seen Ganacho's name down there.
No,
What
he's
are you
not.
doing?
I've put in Gabriel, even though he's not obviously available. But if he's not available, like he isn't going to be, I'll put in Maresca as one of centre half. So I've gone out with Raya in goal.
I would have chosen Fofana ahead of Mosquera. I think, yeah, Mosquera played some games. I would choose Fofana with Saliba, but let's hear.
I think that's the easy one, isn't it? Raya over Sanchez.
Yeah.
Timber
Yes.
right back. I
Yeah.
think Timber's better than Gusto, who's been playing there recently. I have to go with Saliba. I'm not sure.
He's spot on about this. Timber is better than Gusto. But if you're choosing a combined 11, you would put Reece James there, wouldn't you? Like, if you're doing a combined 11 between the whole team, I would put Reece James on the right back, unless you think Timber is better.
All about Chelsea centre halves. And obviously Gabriel's not available, so I've gone with Mosquera.
Yeah.
I really like him. I think he's a better defender than the ones that Chelsea have to offer. But left back, I've gone Cucurella. I do like Calafiori. I do like Luis Skelly, but I think Cucurella, the form is in.
That is a debate, but yes, Cucurella on that left is against Arsenal, by the way. I would, if I'm Chelsea and I have a choice between Calafiori and Cucurella, as I mentioned, I would choose Cucurella because of the amazing defensive display that he always show. So having Saka there, I would choose Cucurella to stop Saka because he has locked down a lot of wingers lately, and he has been absolutely immense defensively for Chelsea this season.
I must admit, it's a good competition for places there because I like them both.
Yeah, of course. So Cucurella comes in at left back. As my number 6, it has to be Caicedo. I think he's the best midfielder in the world at the moment. He does everything, Cal. He covers every blade of grass.
Caicedo,
Score
right?
a goal. In front of him, I've gone with Declan Rice as one of the 8s. Declan Rice obviously likes getting more forward now in that position. And next to him, I'll put Estavo. next to Declan Rice. I think he's such a talent. I hope he's not.
I wouldn't put Estevao there. I would choose Estevao left winger or right winger, to be honest with you. I would change, and I would put Estevao on the left as well. I wouldn't put him at the 10. There is Eze, I think. Eze in the 10, or there's Palmer in the 10 as well.
Starts on Sunday. I don't think the manager will for some weird reason. He's 18. He's not 60.
Yeah.
He can play week in, week out.
On the other side,
Left-hand side, I've gone for Eze. I pushed him out at number 10, but Eze is in outstanding form for Arsenal and for England.
right?
Has to be in there.
Producers just said you can't have Caicedo and Rice. You got
Yes, I can.
No, you got to have one.
No, I'm having both of them.
Come on, don't bottle it. You can only have one.
I can't choose, mate.
Get off
They're
the
both
He has to get off the fence and choose.
Stop weeing in the bath. Who are you picking?
If I had to pick one, I'm picking Declan Rice, of course.
That's all I asked.
Yeah, but I'm going to have both of them in there. I've been chosen.
This is the thing. If I have to choose, me, Judge Mo, depending on the opposition, I like Declan Rice a lot. But I think Caicedo currently in the world, Caicedo is so unique. There is not a lot of defensive midfielders that are good on the ball and they actually can go take the ball forward. However, Declan Rice himself is freaking unique. There's not a lot of engines in the world. Like, it's Vitinha, Fabian Ruiz, and João Neves. They're not as engine. They don't have Declan Rice's engine. They don't. And it's a little bit strange for me to say this, but this is so special that I'll be torn to choose between both. I think there is other 8s in the world. There is the Pedri, there is the Young, there is Vitinha. I don't think there is a player similar to Caicedo. Currently in the world, there is no player in the world that is similar to Moises Caicedo.
My 11. Okay, let me finish. On the right-hand side has to be Saka. That's his position. Best in the Premier League on that side. Now, striker. Obviously, Gyökeres not available, injured. Not sure about Delap at the moment at Chelsea. João Pedro was close, but I've gone for Neto as a fault.
I'm going to go for Mikel Merino up top, actually. I will go for Mikel Merino up top. I want to hear your your combined 11 as well from your opinion. This is very interesting. This last part, let's hear that last part before we end the video. Just still hit that like button. This was it's an interesting conversation. I hear it, but it's kind of crazy a little bit.
Got Ebbs.
Oh, come on.
What do you mean, come on?
No, we're talking about if everyone's fit and we're Champions League final, we're going with Cole Palmer. Like, that surely is not something that is up for contention.
No, I don't know if I agree with that, actually.
Really?
Yeah, mainly because of what Eze's done since he stepped up at Arsenal and what he did at Crystal Palace.
But we saw what Cole Palmer did in his first season at Chelsea. We all saw that. That was ridiculous. That put him on a Ballon d'Or, kind of contention in terms of a list, in terms of a top 10, in terms of the numbers, in terms of the performances, in terms of carrying Chelsea's whole attack, very destabilised, not coming into a very, fully fleshed out Arsenal team at the end of their project, coming into a very rocky, messy Chelsea team. We talk about England, what he did in the Euros when he come off the bench and he's influenced.
He's very fair here, but also he has had one season. But if I'm going to add, he hasn't had that magnificent season yet. Eze is my favourite player. I'm going to be completely honest. Eze is my favourite player at Arsenal. But Cole Palmer probably, for me, talent-wise, is the best in that number 10. He's for me in the world. I can't see anybody past Cole Palmer.
In semi-finals, scoring in finals.
Final, yeah.
We big game player. Honestly, I just don't even think this is a negotiation.
Just your point there, sorry. Would you not have Cole Palmer in this position, or would you not have him in the team at all?
I would have him in the team. The problem is fitting some of these players in. And I think the level of Arsenal have gone to since fitting this guy into the team has proven to me the level he is.
I actually think that Eze was performing okay. He wasn't amazing. He was okay. And now we're going towards... Yeah, he has had a couple of very, very good games lately. The Spurs game, the hat-trick and everything. Scoring a hat-trick in the North London Derby just has a lot of weight. But I genuinely believe that Eze, if Champions League, I would choose Cole Palmer, to be honest with you, in that 10. As much as I like Eze, maybe I'll put Eze on the left wing, but I'll choose Cole Palmer. I like Cole Palmer, to be honest. I'll choose Eze on the left because there's nobody better than him. To be honest,
I think that's the problem. Is what you've done is you've put the two best players against each other in terms of creativity.
Who's the better footballer in terms of well-rounded?
It depends what you're asking them to do. Because I think Eze's actually got a lot more in his locker than people give him credit for.
Palmer's got 45 goals, 20.
One of the things that people say, who's the better footballer? But Eze is stronger, which is part of football. Carries the ball better than Cole Palmer, in my opinion, because of the strength and the speed. I think Cole Palmer is more technical, better at dribbling, maybe better at passing for sure, and vision. Better at free kicks as well. So it's not a lot of better footballer.
28 assists and 100 goals for Chelsea. His numbers are outrageous.
He's undeniable, but I also think let's not overlook and let's let Alex make a really good argument.
Here's your argument. I'd let it all work out. No, look, I just look. Probably it is Cole Palmer, but I just absolutely love.
You see the difference here. I'm gonna state this before I end the video. He likes Cole Palmer. He thinks Cole Palmer is better, but he went with the emotions, and that's something that a lot of people criticize Arsenal fans about, the emotional part. I want to hear from you guys. But for me, the Rice Caicedo debate, I think Moises Caicedo is so unique in that DM, and I think the DM is is the most important part in a football team. I believe that for Cole Palmer and Eze, I would choose Cole Palmer. I'll put Eze on the left for me as well. I like Cole Palmer, but Cole Palmer has been injured. He hasn't played a lot this season. I want to hear from you guys. I want to thank everyone that watched this video. If you like this video, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. And let me know in the comment section what you guys think as well. And check out okjersey.com for sponsorship for a great football shirt that is very affordable. Use the code JUDGE actually to get vintage ones, to get very good ones. Use the code JUDGE to get 8%. I will see you guys soon. And we're out of here.